morning, Mark.
Hi, Trev.
Hey, can you hear my music in the background?
No, I can't. No.
Oh, okay, that's cool. How are you, good sir?
You're not bad, thank you. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, look, I want to apologize. I apologize for not having gotten back to you about
No,
the
hey,
stuff,
I
but
know, I know you will.
I will, but I probably would suggest that I could probably do with a bit of a push along. In other words, uh, I think
I'll give you a couple of weeks.
no, no, don't give me a couple of weeks, man. Like, if you could call me this week, and what I would even
Sure.
suggest is maybe we could catch up, and I can give you the stuff
Okay.
face to face.
Yeah, no problem, Trev. No
Yeah,
problem.
it's just the bill I'm having trouble getting.
Yeah, sorry, the rates for the property that you live in.
No, I rent my other property. I rent out.
Okay, yeah. No, don't worry. You're very clever because there's so many people doing what you're doing now. They rent where their principal place of residence and have an investment property.
Yeah,
Very
that's
clever.
right. Yeah,
Very clever.
but
Very
I
clever.
can give you that. I can give you that rates notice if you want.
Yeah, the only thing is, it would have to tie in with the address that you run your business from, i.e., where you are
Oh, yeah,
now.
look, I'll track you something.
This is all the the anti-money laundering. Not saying you're any crook, Trev.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But anyway, look, let's talk about that another time. Today,
Yeah, no problem.
we're on
Yep.
for Mr. Eric Bailey, who I think has dialed in there. Hey, Eric.
Hey, good morning, Trev. How are you?
Man, you're up nice and early today.
Yes, it is very early and very chilly.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
I've taught myself to be a morning person when I have to, but normally, no, not at all.
Do you know, it's so funny. I used to go to the gym at probably about 7 o'clock at night after work, and I wasn't getting home until like 10 o'clock. And for years, I thought, why am I doing this? Anyway, one day I eventually went to a mate of mine. I said, I've got to become a morning person. Can you help me to go meet me at the gym at 6 a.m. so I can get to bed early and get up and become a morning person? And we met and we worked out at the gym for 6 years together. And it took me that long to get out of being a night person.
Yeah. Well, look, I probably have the best influence in the world. My wife's a personal trainer and teaches group fitness, and
Right.
she's up, dressed in the car every morning at about 5:15.
Wow, I need to get a wife like that.
Yeah, for me, I know it can be done, but after so many years of professional basketball, I'm over pushing myself to those kind of boundaries and limits.
Yeah, well, I hear you, but yeah, I do find it's a bit tough at the moment. But how it's so weird because it's like being this cold in the Gold Coast. It's just so rare. Like we were caught up with some friends on Sunday night, and we had the fire going, and it was like, God, it's not often in Queensland you're actually cold.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hey Eric, thanks so much for joining us. We've got about I'm going to give it 3 more minutes, and then we're going to
Okay.
get off at 7:15 sharp. So sit back, sir, and we'll just
Okay.
wait for everyone to dial in, and then we'll kick it off.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Beautifully, beautifully.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome everyone to the Let's Get It Club, your virtual business growth coaching, sales meeting, networking club. And I am so pleased to have you all logged in this morning, especially on this cold Gold Coast winter Queensland morning, which is pretty rare, but pretty beautiful all at the same time. So very quickly, for those of you who are new to logging into the Let's Get It Club, why have I built the club? It is for business people and entrepreneurs who have limited time and want to get the most out of their marketing dollar to be able to network, learn and grow and become better in business, and really want to thrive in business and want to invest in themselves and their business to make it work more profitably. And as I like to call all of us, real go-getters who have goals, desires, and we have results and things that we want to achieve. And this is a place for me to support you so you can be more skilled, more motivated, more held to account so you can go get what you want to get. Absolute pleasure to have you all here. Very quickly, who am I? Trevor Russell, the facilitator. I work in the capacity of a sales coach, sales trainer, business coach, speaker trainer. I do a lot of team productivity and motivational work, and I am really committed to really helping people in business, both employees and business owners, to really have you succeed and get more out of your business and your profession. Love helping people, love seeing people get better results, and really find clarity in this world that can be a little bit confusing at times. I want to give you guys a big round of applause. For those of you who can see me, please give yourself a pat on the back for being Sonia. Pat on the back, pat on the back. Come on, here we go, here we go. All right, because guys, in this game of life, I find in business, we are constantly striving to achieve the next goal. And one of the things that I've found is very, very important is to give ourselves praise consistently, because I know for so many of you, you're constantly working hard and achieving great things, whether it's small or large. And there's nothing better than some good, consistent self-praise and support for the great work that you're all doing. So I really want to give you a round of applause for showing up this morning, because what we're about to hear from Mr. Eric Bailey, when I have seen Eric speak, is absolutely life-changing, and it's for people who really want to play a better game. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I have learned is, if you want to be able to become better, become more skilled in any specific area, one of the keys is to listen to people that have already done it and have walked that path. What a great way to actually save time and money, by hearing from experts that have done all the hard work. And if nothing else, to get a good shot of refocus and motivation to help us all stay on our game. Because in the words of Zig Ziglar, he said something along the lines of motivation's like showering. You got to do it every day. And one of the things that I do most mornings is I listen to some form of motivation on YouTube, a variety of different people, just to help keep me on my game. And I got to tell you, it really does work. It really helps to get those constant messages coming into our mind, because what we feed our thinker, I know, and I'm sure you guys would agree, has a huge impact on how we think about the world, how we conduct ourselves on a day-to-day basis. So with saying that, what I'd now like to do is I want to give Eric as much time to be able to talk to all of us. And I'm going to unmute Mr. Eric. And hello, Eric, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning. How are you, Trevor?
Very good. So, Eric, what I'd like to do is I would like to hand the mic over to you. And all I'd like to say to everyone is Eric will be able to share with us everything about himself. But very quickly, I met Eric at Paula Brand's event. Saw Eric speak there, and as an athlete, as a businessman, as one of the world's leading motivational speakers, I was so inspired by his message. And it's such an honor to have you here, Eric. I really appreciate it, and I really look forward to listening to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand the mic over to you. If you want to, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can share yours, and we will sit back and have a good listen to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So good morning, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to be with you this morning. One of the first things that I like to get out in the open is that I am a individual who has spent the last probably 24 years of my life just trying to pass on some messages, motivate, inspire, and give people a real good perspective of what's possible. I'm an ex-professional basketball player. I spent 14 years playing in the NBL with the Melbourne Tigers, the Hobart Devils, and the Gold Coast Rollers. Before that, I was in university in America. Before that, I was in high school in South Central Los Angeles. And growing up as a kid in South Central Los Angeles, I didn't get a lot of motivation. I didn't get a lot of inspiration. I didn't get a lot of personal development. The only thing I did get was a snapshot of what I wanted my life to be like. I didn't want to be ordinary. I didn't want to be average. And Trevor just mentioned something before, and just while it's on my mind, I just want to highlight that. And if you're the type of person that really likes to have good takeaways, then can you please, Trevor, you want me to do something, sorry?
Yeah, sorry, Eric. I was just going to ask, could you turn your camera on or share your screen? It might just make it a little bit better for us to either see you or to be seeing something, because, yeah, or I can share my screen and bring your image up.
Well, my screen was on before.
Oh, okay. Do you want to just double check? Because all I can't see, can anyone see Eric's screen? No, all we can see is each other's heads. So for some reason we can't. So do you want to just double check to see if you can share your screen?
Okay.
Sorry. Down the bottom, you might have it just says share screen.
Yeah, I'm looking, but I can't. There's a box, but an empty head in it.
Okay. Do you, can you see if you can just turn your camera on at least?
Hang on.
Sonia?
Mm-hmm.
So, can you instruct us at all?
Can you see me now?
Yes, we can see you. And next to, just in the middle of that screen, if you bring your mouse down, you should see a green button that says share screen.
Okay, so Eric, yeah, we can see, but we can't see you. It's the camera's not on you.
Okay.
It's pointing to the floor.
Right.
So if you're on your laptop or you've got a plug-in camera.
Yeah, I'm on my iPad.
Okay, so your iPad camera is pointing to the floor or to the roof? It's just, here we go, I can see your fingers now. I can see your phone. It's pointing at your phone. Ah, there he is.
Yes.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, it's just at your, it's just pointing at your great, there you are, got you. Perfect.
Okay, is that good now?
Yeah, that's good. Okay, back to you. Let's go.
Okay, so Trevor mentioned before the phrase, thanks for showing up. And I would like to maybe tweak that a little bit. Instead of just showing up, is that to be successful, to get the most out of life and out of business, is that you actually just want to show out. You want to take being someplace and take that to a whole nother level. A couple of questions or a couple of things that Trevor asked me to speak about was, where do you see people stopping themselves from achieving their true worth and ideal goals? What have I done to succeed as both an athlete and a business person? And if I could share one thing for them to go away and add that to what would help them get more out of their business and their life, what will that be? And after professional sport and becoming a professional speaker, it really boils down to understanding what exactly is your true calling and your true passion, and where does your enthusiasm lie for what you want out of your life. As a professional speaker, every single time when I speak or when I'm talking to people, the one thing that I want to do is to extract out of them that passion and that enthusiasm for why they do what they do. Someone once told me that the two most important days of a person's life is, number one, the day that they were born, and number two, the day they realized why they were born and what they were here to accomplish. In business and in life, we all have a purpose. And what I want to do on this call is I want to challenge everyone to identify their purpose, rate their passion level and their enthusiasm for exactly what they're doing, and then ask yourself, is the action plan or the goals that you have set to achieve your goal, do they actually match up and correlate with your passion and your enthusiasm. If you are a 10 in your passion and your enthusiasm, but your action plan and your goal statement and your mission statement and your definite purpose statement is at a 6, then they don't match up. Right now, I want everyone just to do me a favor. Just write down on a piece of paper or on your iPad or on your phone, give yourselves a number between 1 and 10 on the level of passion and enthusiasm that you currently are operating on, say weekly, for your goals and your business. Shouldn't take very long. I mean, most people would know whether they're at 10 or most people would know whether they're at 5. And then after you do that, then give yourself the same ranking as far as what is your action plan, what is your consistent, what is your momentum ranking for doing exactly the same. It was a 5 or whether it's a 10. Because now you can understand quickly whether or not you are congruent in reaching your goals by how you feel and what you're actually doing. As a professional athlete, the first thing that we had to do, and all of my business and all of my speaking and all of my coaching and everything I do professionally in business has been based around the principles of being a professional athlete. And as a professional athlete, the one thing that we were never, ever, ever instructed to do was to rate our success on what other people were doing or on other people's results. It was always never judge yourself by how great someone else is, but judge yourself on what you are currently doing to make yourself be the best version of yourself. There's going to be a couple of key takeaways that I want to leave you with, and I guess I'll get to that. And that question was, if I could share one thing for them to go away and help them with their business and their life, I've decided to share 10 things, because the 10 things that I'm going to share are going to be the 10 things that you can go away and work with to improve and increase both the enthusiasm, the passion, and improve on the actual action plan, which in turn will improve on the results. Number 1, you must lose the fear of what people think. The fear of what other people think will stop even the most determined individual in feeling confident about themselves and everything that they're doing. You must lose this fear. Now, I'm not sure what businesses that you guys are, whether small business or you work for someone else or you're a budding entrepreneur, but fear of what other people think will get in the way of your continual growth. I am adopted. My parents had their reasons for why they didn't want to keep me as a child. And as I progressed through my life from age 3 to age 14, I had a fear. And that fear was that I wasn't good enough. That fear was that if my own biological parents don't want me, don't want to keep me, don't want to raise me, don't want to coach me, don't want to mentor me, if my biological parents don't want to be in my life, then obviously I just don't have the stuff that it takes to become successful. So from age 3 to age 14, I ran away from opportunities. From age 3 to age 14, if somebody was to criticize me, that actually dented my confidence. It made me pause. It stopped me from growing as an individual. So at age 14, when I happened to meet a coach, like a real coach, say like Trevor, who sacrifices to help his clients, who's always trying to give information, who's always trying to source inspirational speakers and success coach and mentors to help the team become better. When someone can do that, then that means that they actually care, which means that they see something in you that you can't see in yourself. What this coach did was to help me lose my fear of being inadequate. Now, in business, you're always going to have people, whether it be customers, whether it be clients, whether it be your friends, whether it be society, whether it be the government, whether it be family members, perfect strangers, who are going to say things that are going to be negative, and it's going to cause you pause. if you want to be successful and get to the top of your game, then you have to lose the fear of what other people think. Therefore, when we are talking about success, we're talking about you being the best version of yourself. How did I get to where I am right now? Is because of this coach, day in and day out, convinced me that I was the driver of my own bus. That wherever my bus was going, whatever my destination was going, it was that I had to be the architect of that. So he taught me to, when people are being negative, that I had to switch them off and switch me on. So instead of just showing up and going for the ride, I had to show out. I had to be so much bigger than what they were saying. Number two, seize every opportunity that comes your way and create any opportunities that don't come your way. Basically, you got to go and you got to make it happen. You're not going to have too many regrets if you're seizing every possible opportunity in life. The result is you're going to be feeling pretty good about yourself. So don't miss or pass up any opportunity that comes your way. Just because you might not be ready for it doesn't mean that it's not there for you to take. So do some personal reflection and ask yourself, have there been some opportunities that have come your way and you've turned your back on them? Have you perhaps looked at the opportunity and said to yourself, I'm not ready for it, and you walked away? You see, that opportunity presented itself because you were there. You put yourself in a position to gravitate toward it. You put yourself in a position to have something. At 14 years of age, this coach presented an opportunity for me, who have never played a game of basketball before, because I had really bad knees. I didn't have any athletic ability. I didn't have any skill. I just had height. And this coach invited me to come down to the basketball courts and play on this very day. And at 14 years of age, the first thing I said to him was, no, I can't. And he said, why? And I told him my story. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story that's so compelling that when you tell yourself the story, you potentially can talk yourself out of taking advantage of an opportunity. 95% of the population will hear your story, and they will agree with you that your story is sad, and they will agree with you that because of your story, you can't move forward. There's 5% of the population that will hear your story, and they will say to you, you know what? Rewrite the ending to your story. If you're on this call right now, and you do have a story that you're holding on to that's sad, it's depressing, it's a contagious kind of story that brings other people down, do me one favor and just think about what could you change about the ending of that story is that's going to give you more impotence to just move forward and take advantage of the opportunity. You see, I told my coach this story. I told him about my birth. I told him about my living circumstances. I told him about my environment. I told him that I wasn't a very good student. I told him I had never played basketball before. And you know what he said to me? He said, how long are you going to let that story get in the way of you potentially changing your life? How many business opportunities have you walked away from because of the story that you have in your head? He convinced me to walk onto the court and just for 1 hour, forget about the story I had been conjuring up in my head and just look to do something different. And I did. And in 1 hour, I set a school record. And from that moment onwards, he proved to me that there's an opportunity here. I'm going to create it. And now the next thing I have to do is I have to stay engaged in that opportunity and never, ever, ever turn my back on it. I'm a professional speaker now is because I want people to understand that what you see every day, what's around you, does not have to be your reality. We all have an opportunity right now to create a legacy, not just for ourselves, but for our family. I'm a husband, I'm a father, and I'm a grandfather. And my legacy that I am building right now is something that I hope that continue long after when I'm gone. I've spoken in 13 different countries. I've spoken to over 3.5 million people around the world. And no one in South Central Los Angeles ever thought or told me that this was possible. This coach looked me in the eye one day and he just said to me, you can change your life, but you have to do something differently. Number 3, do what you love and not what others want you to do. I'll repeat that again. Do what you love and not what others want you to do. Letting other people persuade you to do something because it seems the best option to them doesn't mean you will enjoy it. If you do what you love, you'll be proud of it and won't have any doubts in your mind about it being the right choice. I get asked this question a lot. Do you enjoy speaking? Like, do you enjoy getting up in front of people and telling them your story and making them laugh? And do you get people who don't want to listen to you? And this is what I say to them. I say, I was born to do more than live my life. You see, I could live my life and not worry about anybody else, but then I'd be unhappy. See, I'm most happy when I'm in a room full of primary school students or high school students or personal developments or CEOs or network marketers or corporates or athletes. I'm most happy when I'm in a room doing something that makes me feel as if I am bringing someone else to a different level. Because it's not a job. It's not something I do just because I have to do it. I'm doing it because I want to do it. In the occupation that you're in the industry that you're in, if there's one thing that I can encourage you to look at and to give you maybe an insight of how to do that better, is that you got to love it. You can't get up in the morning and go to your job and be there all day and sit there and have regrets or sit there and be thinking about something else I want to do or sit there and be saying, you know what, I don't know why I'm doing this, and be the best at what you do. It just doesn't work. It's like a professional athlete who plays for 14 years and only is playing to pick up a paycheck or to sign autographs or to be on television. They will never reach the top of their craft because they're only doing it just for status. If you're seeking status to do something, then you don't have your heart and soul in it. I want to read this again, the last part. If you do what you love, you will be proud of it. You know what I'm proud of? I'm proud of when I go to a mall, or if I go to a sporting event, or if I'm out and about and someone will come up to me, a parent, and say, hey, Eric, I recognized you from Facebook or social media. You spoke at my daughter's school and, you know, you made a big difference. Or one of my clients or someone who spoke at me at an event and said, you know, I'm getting really good results in my business because of what you said. You see, I'm proud of my brand. I'm proud of what I do. I'm proud of that what I do day to day is bringing enlightenment and empowerment and inspiration to other people. I'm proud that I'm being duplicated down by my parents who adopted me because they took a chance on me, because when they couldn't have kids, they decided that they would choose me and they would raise me and they would mentor me and they would support me. So my parents was the ultimate coach. And so they've instilled in me those values of helping out, of reaching out, not reaching up. So when you talk about loving what you do, it's always going to be an added bonus. Number 4, learn from your failures. Learn from your failures. Many people let failures get the best of them and don't use the experience for what it means for growth and improvement. Start to think of your failures as stepping stones and not setbacks in order for you to feel unstoppable. I love that word, unstoppable. Unstoppable means that no matter what comes your way, you're just not going to quit. And failures, as painful, as sad, and hurtful as they are, failures are the best barometer of your growth. Just imagine if you never, ever had a challenge, you never had an obstacle, you never made a mistake. Do you ever think that you would have any resilience in your life? No. What would happen is that you'd have everything going your way for so long, and all of a sudden you got that knockback, that setback, and you've never had it before, and you don't know how to handle it, and boom, you are down. It's over. You're done. But the failures that you get in your life, I don't call them failures. I call them speed bumps. You know, when you're driving your car and you go over to a speed bump, you got to slow down, because if you don't slow down, you're going to hit that speed bump so hard, and it's going to shake you all over the car. You see, failures are only failures is that if you get hit and then you quit. You see, if you want to be an amazing business person or amazing husband or a wife or a partner or a client, whatever, if you want to be amazing, great at life, then you don't quit. You roll with the punches. And your failures or your setbacks or your challenges or your issues, they are sent there for a reason, to make you stronger, to make you to get over it and then learn from it so that you can help other people. If anyone on this call has kids, if you have a daughter, if you have a son, the best thing that you can do is have failures and setbacks and challenges and issues, and let your children see how you deal with them. Because if you can deal with them in a positive way, you're sending a message that's just a part of life. Number 6, improve your posture and your body language. Improve your posture and your body language. Working on your posture and your body language will change the way you walk, sit, and even interact with people, which makes you feel taller, stronger, and more confident with the people around you. Are you the type of person that walks into a room, has a conversation, whether it's you're networking or whether it's with a client or whether it's with a business, that when you walk into a room, people will look at you, and before you open your mouth, someone will even just be drawn towards you? You see, what you think, how you come across, is exactly what you're going to bring into your circle of influence. If you walk into a room and you're negative and your back slunched over, you're not breathing very well, you're not standing tall, that's what you're going to attract. And we all know in business that the type of people you want in your business and in your life are vibrant. They're impactful. They're confident. They have good aura about them. They have a walk. They have a talk. They have a presence. Well, I was once told that you will never, ever, ever see an eagle that flies really high above all the fowl. You will never see an eagle, right, down with a chicken. Why? Because the levels are so different. You see, in eagles, they fly above because they have that aura about them, where a chicken is a bottom feeder. So when you are in a room, are you have the presence of an eagle or the presence of a chicken? Number 7. Now this one is something that I would say probably over the past 5 or 6 years have really invested in my life, and that is push yourself towards growth and create time freedom. I'll repeat that. Push yourself toward growth and create time freedom. Don't just expect growth to come to you when you want it to. You have to push yourself in the direction you want to go. Nobody else is going to do it for you. understand what you want and literally push. If you drag yourself through everything needed in order to get there, if you drag yourself in order to get there, it's going to be a long road. So you have to push. And the reason why I'm throwing this in here is because right now there are so many people out in the world who are running away from the true potentials that are opening its door to themselves to grow. Personal development is number one. Growing your mind, growing your confidence and belief in yourself. That's paramount. Number two, creating a second, third, fourth stream of income. That's really important. Number three, your health. Developing ways to make sure that every single day you're doing something to better your health, whether it's going to the gym. Trevor was talking about this earlier, about getting up early and going to the gym. But what about what you're putting in your body? Whether it's amazing supplements, or it's meditation, or it's stretching, Pilates, or it's going for walks. It's making sure that what you put in your mind and your body is going to be sufficient, not just sufficient, but it's going to help you to counter and interact the free radicals that are in the air. It's going to help you counteract what you're listening to on the radio or television. It's about building a stream of income that's going to allow you to generate income coming through your doors, that even when you're not working and when you're not physically putting your time into it, you're still building a legacy. You see, so many people now are relying on just one job. And if you're relying on one job and something happens to that job, then where is your income going to come through? How are you going to support your family? Superannuation as we know it right now in 10, 20, 30 years will not exist. Right now, 1 in 80 people, 1 in 80 human beings in Australia will have to work until they're 80 years of age. Why is that? Because they're not doing exactly what I'm talking about now, is push yourself towards growth. If you are living your life as if you were living 50 years ago, where one person had one job, they worked for 45 years, and after 45 years they retired and expect to receive superannuation or an income coming through. If you're living like that, you're not pushing towards growth, you're very stagnant. If you're not now trying to gravitate toward 21st century practices in your health and your wealth and your well-being and your mindset, your life and your business will become stagnant. And I just want to finish on just on the last one. Keep in mind that anything is possible. Keep in mind that anything is possible. This needs to be the basic ground of how you think. Anything is possible if you're prepared to put the work in. And truly knowing and believing in this fact has a powerful effect on what you think about life. In 1996, I decided I wanted to become a professional speaker. And I had no formal training. I wasn't a great communicator, a great speaker. I just had a passion that I wanted to tell my story. Keeping in mind that anything is possible, I decided I was going to embark on that career. I got on the phone and I called all of Australia's largest speaker agents. And I told them who I was and I told them what I wanted to do. And I got no love at all. As a matter of fact, most of them said that I didn't have the experience to break into the industry. However, I did get one agency that showed a little bit of promise. In my mind, I kept saying to myself, anything is possible. So I jumped on a plane and I flew to Sydney and I met with the CEO of one of Australia's largest, most popular speaker agencies. And I sat across them in a boardroom. I said to them, this is my life. This is what I've done. I think my story is compelling. I'd like to share my story. And the first thing they said to me was, you do know that you are an American, don't you? And I said, well, I'm actually an Australian citizen. I've been here since 1987. And they said to me, well, the perception is that you are an American, and Australian audiences will not resonate with your story. I said, okay, wow. And then they said, well, and you know, you're 6'6" tall. I said, what does that mean? Oh, well, you're very tall, and because of your height, you will be quite intimidating. I was like, oh, okay. And also, one factor that I want to point out with you is that you are Black. I said, what does that mean? Well, Australians would probably feel more comfortable speaking to someone their own race and their own culture and have their own lingo. Now, I looked across this person and I said, so basically you're saying to me, I'm not going to make it in the industry because I'm Black, I'm an American, and I'm tall, and I only played basketball. I didn't play cricket, and I didn't win a gold medal at the Olympics. Is that what you're saying? And they said, yes. And I said, thank you very much. And in 1996, I walked out of that office and I got back on a plane and I flew back to Brisbane, back to the Gold Coast then. And for 5 days, I basically looked in the mirror and I kept saying to myself, I better try a new profession because I can't make it. For 5 days, I forgot about that. Keep in mind, anything is possible. I don't know what happened, but something tweaked in my mind. I got up off the couch, I got out of the bed, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make it happen. And I went door knocking. And I found every single place that I could speak. I found primary schools. I found shopping centers. I found community groups. I found every place I could speak just so I could develop my own story and develop the confidence in me to build a business. And from 1996 to now, I've used that as my theme, and that is keep in mind that anything is possible. On this call right now, I want to show you something. In 2016, I wrote my first book.
Hey,
no one ever
Eric,
thought I could do it.
Eric, can you pull the camera down a bit so we can see your face? Oh, there you go. Great.
Okay. I wrote my first book, and that's it. Bring your A game. And this was a work in progress, but it got done. In 2016, I was featured on the cover of this magazine, World Class Magazine, which has featured Oprah Winfrey, Anthony Robbins, Les Brown, a lot of the multimillionaires and thought leaders, Richard Branson around the world. In 2016, I was validated for the fact that I have proven, not to anybody else, but to myself, that no one has the power to take away your goals and your dreams. This morning, this call has been about what's possible. And if it's possible for me to do these things in my life, just imagine what's possible for you to do the things that you want to do in your life. It's going to take a lot of self-discipline. It's going to take a lot of hard work, dedication, sacrifice, but it's also going to take a lot of independent and creative thinking. And the fact that you're on this call this morning says that you have it. But now I'm going to challenge all of you, not just to know you have it, but now to go out and execute. Just remember, you're here to not survive, but to create a legacy. And the legacy begins with you. Number one, becoming fearless, not afraid to take chances, not afraid to step outside your comfort zone, not afraid to think outside the box, not afraid to adopt new principles and strategies and techniques and tools that are going to help elevate your life. Number two, you got to believe. That's the B. Believe in yourself, believe in your destiny, believe in your dreams, believe that you deserve more, believe that you are in the right place at the right time to take advantage of technology, take advantage of social media, take advantage of everything that's been presented for all of us right now to do more in our life than we ever thought we did. And the third one is I. Independently think for yourself. Be the type of person that can see for yourself, think for yourself, and do for yourself, and not be influenced by the world's opinion or other people's opinions around you. You have the stage. The stage is set. The question is not what are you going to do about it? The question is, when are you going to do something about it? And I suggest you do it now. Don't wait another second. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eric. Hey, Eric, I want to say firstly, wow, it was like you were in my head the last few days, honestly, because, and what I'll do, guys, is I'm going to open up the mic in a minute for a couple of quick questions to Eric. But Eric, I wanted to just ask you two questions. The first question is, what would be your advice for people? Because, okay, why am I asking you this question? What I see happening a lot for people, Eric, is they know they want more. Very often they know even what it is. The challenge that I find people really struggling with is to live in that place of feeling uncomfortable doing things that they're not used to that will yield a result. In other words, let me give you a quick example. Let's just say someone wants to go and get a new client, get a new deal, and they've, like you said, they've got to go and push through. They've got to go and have the discipline to make the calls. As you said, you just went and made it happen. What would be your advice to these good people today about how do you live in that place of uncomfortableness to keep going? What do you say to yourself on a daily basis to push through until you can get it, and even being uncomfortable for a while you're getting it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And the one thing I always say to people is you need to work. Okay, most people work their goals and their dreams from front to back. I say work them from back to front. So give you an example. So I look at my day and I look at the things that I have to do, whether I have to make calls, whether I have to go prospecting, whether I have to, do my social media, whatever it is. And I look at, okay, if I don't do this, if I'm not putting myself in an uncomfortable situation, who will suffer ultimately by my laziness or my feelings of fear or my anxiety? Who are the people who are going to really suffer the most? And I have to say it's going to be my grandchildren, my daughter, and my wife. And the reason why I say that is because I'm trying to build something, not just for me, I'm building it to pass on. And if I don't do what I need to do consistently on a daily basis, if I don't put myself through the grind, then I know that my grandchildren will not be able to benefit from the time that I had on the planet. And when I start feeling like that, when I start thinking like that, I just say, you know what, I have to get done. The other thing I always think about is that if it's not painful and if I'm not uncomfortable, then you know what, I'm not doing this thing right because I'm not growing from it.
Yeah. And Eric, do you? Firstly, what I'd like to ask you is, Eric, if are you doing anything where if any of us want to do more work with you or come and see you speak, are there any ways that we can do that?
Yes. So what I was going to do is I really enjoyed this the time that I had with you and your clients. So what I want to do, because I really love that face-to-face, and I think most of your callers are either on the Gold Coast and also on Brisbane. So what I'd like to do, and I would love to do just a 1-hour activational session with every single person on the call, one-on-one, and I want to help them to maybe chart chart every aspect of their life, whether it's their health, whether it's their business, whether it's their plan B, whether it's their confidence. Just a 1 hour session with them, catch up for a green tea, sit down, and talk to them about, their exercise routine, their health, what they're putting in their bodies, and just maybe just go through and just maybe give them just a kickstart and a jump start to finish off the rest of the year. So if anyone likes to take advantage of that, I'll give you my email address, which is eric@ericbaileyglobal.com. We catch up and we can sit down and I can help you. If you have any questions and just a one-on-one consultation, then you can just talk to me about anything, any questions, but really help you to put yourself on a course, particularly with your health, your well-being, your mindset, and your plan B that you might want to put into practice to kickstart you into, say, 2018.
So what I'm also going to do, Eric, is I will put that in an email, because I'll send this recording out to everyone and I'll put that email in there for them. Okay, so guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just open up the mics. Eric, are you okay to take 2 questions?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Actually, the other thing I'm going to do is I've got an ebook that I'm going to actually send you, Trevor. And what I'd like you to do is you can send that ebook out to everyone as well.
Yeah, sure. Now I'm taking a quick photo because you're a goal that I set to have on here and I just achieved it. So I thought I better.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Okay, so if you forward me that ebook, I will forward that on too, and I'll connect everyone in. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do is, if there's any dogs, kids, anything, could you put them outside? Because here we go. I'm going to unmute. All right, here we go. So, okay, guys, who has got a quick 1-minute question? We've got a time for a few. If you could keep it short and succinct, who'd like to ask Eric a question? Hello? None of you. Okay. So it looks like, hang on a sec, unmute. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Jeff.
Does anyone want to ask Eric a quick question?
No.
No?
I do.
Catherine?
Yep. So Eric, how do you overcome conflict that you have in yourself? You've got this strong belief about what you do, but you're drawn back to, and I suppose it's fear, but how do you move through that?
Okay, so what I do is I actually every single day, I really try to, number one, I start my day with a motivational clip or something uplifting, inspiring that I listen to keep my mind focused on the positive and really good things that I want to accomplish during the day. I finished the day on that the same way. And actually during the day, I have a few affirmations that I have in my phone that when I'm starting to creep into that fear or the fear or that negative feelings, that I just look at those and I read those. And I just try to keep myself as positive as I possibly can. The other thing is basically trying to surround yourself with a group of really positive people that every time you get with them, you feel like you're on top of the world, because you really need to have positive environment around you to keep you uplifted and just working on yourself.
Thanks,
you,
Catherine. And if I can add to that, Eric, and guys, we're going to wrap up in about 1 minute. What I want to add to that is one of the things that I also made a note of. You said a very important word, which was, well, it's 2 words, self-discipline. And one of the things that I've learned from smart people around me, and when I feel that I'm working productively at my best, is these things as the daily things that we put into our brain. As you said, writing our action plan down, writing down what it is that we're doing. This is an A grade. These are A game activities, guys. These are the things that have us move from mediocre to what I call the 3%ers. 3%ers. Every one of my successful friends, they have plans, they write goals. I know those of you who are achieving, you are doing the things that the majority just do not do, or they find excuses not to do. And all I want to do is just back up as a statement from what Erica said is they actually work. You know, I've got my plan today that I'm taking with me, and I'm not saying I've got it all figured out, but I know if I'm putting my things down, working through them one day at a time, pushing past our fear, the formula I find, Eric, is actually fairly simple. It's just having the discipline to actually do what the majority won't.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
Yep. And guys, okay, one more question. If anyone has got a quick question for Eric, and then we're gonna wrap up our meeting today. Anyone? No? Okay. Well, guys, I'm going to say thank you to all of you, and I am going to say thank you, Eric. It's been an absolute pleasure listening to you. I have taken pages of notes, and I'll definitely be taking you up on having a great session with you, because yeah, I just know that to get to speak to someone who really can give us that different perspective, or if nothing else, as you just said, Eric, for me, even myself, I love speaking. I love going and making a difference to people. And I was starting to doubt last week. It's like, wow, is that the best path for me? And this, that, and the other. And you've just so re-inspired me to just go do that thing, which I really, really love to do. So
Excellent.
thank you. That was the gift that you gave me today. So guys, what I would recommend is please take away what Eric said, which I saw as rate your passion and enthusiasm, and to identify if you are living your purpose and develop the actions around you moving more and more every day to your purpose. Even if you're possibly doing something right now that you don't exactly like, bring your purpose and passion to that, because that is going to make the other stuff show up so much more quickly and effectively, and be the best that you can be, and push past fear to be amazing. So thanks, guys. What I just want to do is I'm just going to share a quick screen with you guys, and that is, again, to say thank you. And I want to leave you with this parting message, which is you are capable of achieving and doing so much more than your mind would ever let you believe. And I think Eric really helped qualify that today. Guys, I will let you guys get off to work. I will send you a thorough email with this recording, Eric's details. Eric, if you don't mind, I might connect in with you a little bit later today to book that session in with you. And
Okay.
thank you again, sir. If you can all just give Eric a big round of applause, please. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Invaluable. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.